So you want to learn about the square brackets in a command block. Well, first of all, they're called target selectors. Second of all, they are very useful. So let's start with the selector of advancements. Now, there's a website that shows all the IDs for each advancement because the IDs are weird. You can't really memorize them all. So I'm gonna put this one. This one is for Monster Hunter. So if I go and get a zombie, this command should affect glowing to whoever has the advancement of Monster Hunter, which I do have the advancement, so I'm glowing now. And that's advancements. This one you're not going to use much, but sometimes you might if you're like doing a certain adventure map that has custom advancements. Let's move on to the distance selector, which is very useful. And so let's say I want to affect glowing to anyone in a 0 to 5 radius. So you got to put 2 periods between the two distance numbers. So I can go from a distance from 1 to 5, I can go from 5 to 5, which isn't very useful, 4 to 5, but we're just going to go from 0 to 5 because simplicity's sake. We're also going to turn this to a repeating command block. So if I'm like far away from the command block, nothing's going to happen, but once I get within 5 blocks, I have glowing. So now let's do a game mode. This one is very simple. Uh, Say I want to affect everyone in survival. Everyone in survival will get glowing. So I'm in creative right now, not glowing. But if I'm in survival, I am glowing. And if I'm in adventure, no glowing. Spectator, no glowing. This is very simple, as I said. You can't put an exclamation point behind it, which affects everyone but people in survival. So if I'm in creative, I get glowing. If I'm in adventure, I get glowing. Spectator, I get glowing. But in survival, I don't get glowing. This next selector is called level. This is just measures your experience level. This one is similar to the distance command, although it's less useful. So if I do level 2 through 4, this will affect glowing when I am at levels 2 through 4. So I'm at 0 right now. My XP bar is empty, but if I just give myself some XP, I'm at level 2, so I have glowing. And level 3, level 4, and once I reach 5 it should stop because I said 2 through 4, which it does stop. I'm not glowing anymore. So this next selector is, where is it? Limit. So I'm going to set this to 2, and I'm going to change at A to at E so it affects all entities. So this will affect me with glowing because I am the only entity around. But say I added another entity like a pig, he'd also have glowing because it says limit equals 2, so there's 2 people, 2 entities that have glowing. But if I added a third one, he won't have glowing because there's only 2 who can have glowing. No matter how many pigs I add, only 2 of us are going to have glowing. If I kill this pig, someone else is going to get glowing. So this next selector is name. So this will affect only people, entities with a specific name. So say I set the name to Bob. No one's glowing because no one has the name of Bob, but this name tag will set someone's name to Bob. This pig is now Bob, and now he's glowing. You can have as many named as you want, but as long as they're named Bob, they will glow. But if I set it to, I don't know, Dr. Cosmos, which is my Minecraft player name, then it will only affect me, because my player name. Okay, this next one is a little more complicated. This one is NBT. This selects entities with a certain NBT. Now, there's a lot of NBT, and you're never going to memorize them all, ever, even if you're very good at commands. So let's just do a simple, it's one of the more simpler, easy to understand NBT tags. On ground. 1B. This will detect anyone who's on ground. So everyone's on ground, so they will be glowed. But if I get off the ground, I won't be glowing. If I set this to ground 0B. This will affect anyone who's not on the ground. Since I'm not on the ground, I'm glowing, but they're not. When I'm on the ground, I lose glowing. There's many other MBT tags you can use. I won't get into that, but this one is very, very useful if you know them. The next one is Predicate. Now, this one I've never used in my entire life. It's apparently for data pack, loot tables. If you're trying to figure out MBT tags or target selectors, then I don't think you're gonna need to know this one. It apparently does something with loot tables. I don't know myself. This next target selector is scores. Now this one, well, first we gotta make a scoreboard. So I'm gonna scoreboard objectives add. I don't know, like target and dummy. So now I'm going to put target in here, because that's the name of the objective. Target equals, I don't know, like 10 or up. This is very similar to distance selector. Use the 2 periods for numbers. So you could go 10 to 15 or 5 to 15. It doesn't really matter. We'll do 10 to 15. So I'm gonna scoreboard players add at p. What's it called again? Target 1. So if I add 1, I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now this next one I should go to 10, which should give me glowing because I put it in the command block. There we go. So if I continue up to 15, this is the upper limit. So if I go one more, I should stop having glowing. That's scores. So this next one is sort. Now this one is going to need the help of another target selector we already did today, limit. So this should get the nearest 2 entities and affect them with glowing. So I need pigs again. I'm gonna get a couple pigs. As you can see, only 2 of them at a time have it. So since we're the closest to the command block, this being this pig, we get glowing effect. If I were to move away, eventually one pig is going to be closer than me and get glowing, and I'll stop having glowing. But see how he just walked away and now I'm the second closest? I now have glowing. You can also do sort equals random. This will pick a random too. But since it keeps picking randoms, I guess it's doing all of us. Furthest, which will pick the 2 furthest. And arbitrary, which I think are the default. Or to remove this, it would stay at the default. So this next one is tag. Now there's a command called /tag. So let's make a tag first. Say we want the tag to be tagged. I'm gonna place pig /tag at e add tagged. So this will add a tag to all entities of tagged. Tag 2 entities. I can do tag at e remove tag, and if I only tag myself with tagged, then only I'm going to have the particle effect. So this next one, similar to tag, is team. So let's do team green. I'm going to create the team add green, and I'm going to join the green team. If you see other teams or like something else in the scoreboard, that's because this is my testing world. Don't mind that. So since I'm on team green now, team green, I'm glowing. But if I were to team leave at P, then I wouldn't be on the green team and I wouldn't have glowing. So this next one is very useful. Type. So you can pick any entity you'd like. Player. You can pick player, but I'm not going to. You do pig. It doesn't matter. This will effect give at E type pig. So that means any pig will get glowing. So I don't have glowing because I'm not a pig. Pig will get glowing because it's a pig. If I set this to player, it affect only players. Do this with zombies, phantoms, I don't know, the Ender Dragon. It's very useful. This next MBT is actually 6 MBTs. I'm going to show you 6 of them in all in one. So this is X, Y, and Z. I'm going to set them all to 0 for now. But so this will detect. Well, let's put a gold block here. Say I want 371, 4, 500. I'm going to copy this command. This thing. So I set the X to that, and 500. So this will effect give anyone at this coordinate glowing. Now you might say this is not working. What's happening? Well, first then you got to add dx, dy, and dz. So let's do 1, 1, 1. So from the coordinate that we put in, which was right here, it will go 1, 1, 1 in all directions. So it's kind of like a square. But if I didn't want it to be 1, I'd make it 0. So let's set that to 0. This takes a lot of trial and error to do, this particular selector, so it might take you a couple tries to get this perfectly right. Once you got it, it should work. But you need, if you're going to have a X, Y, and Z, you need the DX, DY, and DZ for it to work. If I were to put a pig here, he'd glow till he got pushed off, where he wouldn't glow. This one is a little difficult to set up, but once you get it, it will work perfectly. So this next one is the rotation. So let's do X rotation equals 0 to 108 or something. So you might be wondering, how do I know what rotation is which? Well, go to F3. If you go down from the left side all the way down to facing, you'll see north, and then as you go along that, you'll see a bunch of numbers that keep changing as I look around. Those are your rotation. So the first one is the Y, which is back and forth, and then the X is up and down. That might seem counterintuitive, but that's just how it works. So if I were to look from 0 to 180, which is what I put in the command block, then I'll get glowing. That's the second number, so it's 39.2 right now. But if I were to look up to the negatives, I won't have glowing. But if I were to look down, I have glowing. Can't actually get to 180, so technically this should be 90, but it doesn't matter. You can also do this with the Y rotation. So that's 0 to 90Y. That's the first number. As I look around, it's glow from here to here. I hope this video helped you learn target selectors. This is the first tutorial I've ever made. Put any other questions in the comments below or look it up on Google. Bye.